What's up guys, Moniz here, and today I'm reviewing the ASUS GL553VE gaming laptop. This retails for about $1,200 US and comes with a GTX 1050 Ti. There's also a cheaper model which retails for $1,100 US with a regular 1050. I really wanted to include this laptop in my top 3 gaming laptops under $1,000, but the price point didn't let me. I still want to review this laptop because if you can dish out an extra $100 or $200, there's some features in this laptop that might make it more attractive over the sub 1,000 laptops. So here's my review. The design is pretty similar to some of the Strix laptops that came out last year. So it's an all black laptop with a brushed metal lid, and in the middle you have the ASUS logo with 2 lines on the side that light up when the laptop is on. The bottom is made out of all plastic, and your heat vent, instead of being on the back, comes out of the left side of the laptop. Overall, it's pretty portable. It only weighs 5.51 pounds, so it's the exact same size and weight as the Acer VX15, but still heavier than the HP Omen 15 and Lenovo Y520. For ports, you have a USB 2.0 on the right, a DVD player which is becoming unheard of, and a Noble Lock. The left has a power connector, Ethernet port, HDMI port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 USB Type-C port that's not Thunderbolt 3, and your audio jack. Oh, and on the back you have a full-size SD card slot, which is a nice touch. Inside you have 2 slots for RAM. Right now there's one 16GB stick, but it can be upgraded to a maximum of 32. There's one 256GB M2 SSD with your typical average read and write speeds of 500 megabytes a second. There's a second storage drive. It's a 2.5-inch 5400 RPM 1TB hard drive with really poor read and write speeds. I wish vendors would stop sticking these things inside of laptops and use the faster 7200 RPM hard drives. At the top is a tubular 43 watt-hour battery. It's pretty small for a laptop this size and obviously made that way to squeeze in the DVD drive. I was only able to get about 4 hours of use when browsing the web and watching videos. For gaming, it averaged around 40 minutes. With the GL553VE, you get an i7 7700K CPU, 16GB of RAM, and a GTX 1050 Ti, all for $1,220 US. But if you want to save a few bucks, you can spend $120 less and only get it with a GTX 1050 and 1 less storage drive. My suggestion is to get it with the 1050 Ti. It's a much better deal and better for gaming. The display is 15.6 inches, IPS matte, and has a refresh rate of 60 Hz. But compared to the Inspiron 15, Omen 15, and Acer VX15, this one is definitely the best. It has better color accuracy, it's significantly brighter, and games are more enjoyable to play on. The sRGB rating is 91%, which is much higher than the 65% sRGB average on the laptops from my top 3 gaming laptops under 1,000 video. So if you're on a budget or even do professional work like edit video, this display is a much better choice. Above is the HD webcam. I don't even know why I bother showing webcams on my laptop reviews. They all look pretty much the same, but here's what this one looks like if you're interested. The keyboard is full size with a numeric keypad with a nice plush travel distance of 2.5 millimeters. They are tad mushy and the keyboard itself rattles a bit when pressing on them. Backlighting is RGB, so you can change it to whatever color you want using the Aura Core app. You can even split the colors into 4 separate zones. Just below is the trackpad. It's made out of plastic and feels fine. I wouldn't want to use it all day, but it's much better than the one on the Legion Y520. Scrolling is accurate, gestures work well, but just like the keyboard, there's a bit of rattling when clicking on the trackpad. Sound is coming out of 2 speakers on the front of the laptop. They don't get too loud, but it's clear even at max volume. The sound has nice sharp highs, but there's not much bass and the mids are muffled. But the performance on this laptop is more than capable for everyday tasks, and same holds true for more professional work like editing 4K video, working in Photoshop, or even doing some CAD work. For gaming, expect to play most games comfortably at 1080p with settings set to medium or high. In Overwatch, with the settings set to ultra, I was able to get a very comfortable 70 frames per second. In Doom, both using OpenGL and Vulkan, I was averaging 55 to 60 frames per second with settings set to high. Now, I'd probably drop it to medium if you want to achieve over 60 frames consistently. And finally, the last game I tried was Battlefield 1 with settings set to high. I was averaging frame rates of 45 to 50 frames per second. If you drop it to medium, you can gain an additional 10 frames. Now, surprisingly, fan noise is loud when the laptop is idle. It's constantly spinning at 32 rotations per minute, even when the laptop is doing nothing. But under full load, it's not louder than most other gaming laptops. In terms of heat, it does a very good job with surface temperatures, never exceeding the mid-30s. And the reason it's so good is because there's a lot of thermal throttling going on. As soon as too much is happening, the CPU gets throttled to keep the CPU temps below 90 degrees Celsius. Also, if you're lefty like myself, the vent is on the left side of the laptop, so they'll constantly have hot air blowing on your hands while gaming. It's not hot enough to burn you, but hot enough to be annoying after a short period of time. Alright, so here are my closing thoughts. The ASUS GL553VE has a great display for gaming, a nice design that's fairly portable, a good keyboard, and can run most games comfortably at 1080p. However, the negatives are really poor battery life, thermal throttling, and mediocre sound. Plus, if you're a lefty like myself, you might find the heat coming out of the vent on the left side problematic. Now, there are gaming laptops that are a bit cheaper with similar performance, but with the ASUS GL553, you're getting a much better display, which is one of the biggest complaints of sub $1,000 gaming laptops. So that wraps up my review. I want to know what you guys think of this laptop in the comments below, especially from people who have the laptop already. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.